brand new game here coming into game number 3. NiP, hopefully they've learned from what they felt they messed up in game number 2, where they had a clear lead, were able to throw that one away, then get another Baron, then throw it away even further than that, and end up losing that one to bring us down into game number 3. But we are going to be jumping into game, guys. This is the final match between NiP and TCM for a place in the amateur final, where, of course, they will be playing that one tomorrow up against the winner of our next game coming up, which is SK Gaming versus Copenhagen Wolves. So the last 2 games are anything to go by. NiP probably going to start off strong in this one. The question is how TCM weather that storm.
Well, so far, the red team has won both matches, so we'll see whether TCM can continue with that. We haven't seen any level 1 engagements just yet. It's been very patient stuff from both teams. Mithy just building up that stun. And remember, both teams do have quite a lot of all-in. As it is at level 1, I would give it to TCM, which is why they're probably being met with confidence. Zora's 0 confidence right there. He knew exactly what he was doing. Motroko is like, I'm going to check this push. I have no trust in you. And sure enough, puts that phosphorus bomb in his head. Barrels rolling on through. TCM get that vision on the blue buff. What they're after. Are we going to see a rotation? No. They are all going to back away. Don't feeling that confident. So we are going to have a standoff. So, Ninjas in Pajamas, they have been stronger, I think it's safe to say, in lane phase for the first 2 games. Can they continue that dominance? Will it continue to happen? And if it does, will they actually finally manage to, close the game out in fashion, or will they just let it dangle, let it trickle through? Because, again, TCM have a pretty good late game team.
So this is probably the most interesting level 1 that we've seen so far. I mean, game number 1, they switched and basically took each other's blue buffs. This time around, we see a 4-man NiP strike team, let's call it, waiting around the blue, but TCM are there as well. Ooh. So we could see an engagement. This would be 4-on-3, and we are going to see them go through. There's a stun onto a Naruto. He's burst very, very low, and he's getting ticked away from the ignite. It's Mithy that picked up. Freeze actually flashed in to try and get that one.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a waste or not, but a flash nonetheless was used, and he didn't get the kill. A kill would have been great for Freeze, but unfortunately it wasn't. It was his support, Mithy, that got first blood. And will that actually counter much? Because Mithy's not going to go back and buy just yet. He can get that Philo Stone maybe early on. Something GP10 going early on. I don't know what he's going to use it for. Freeze would have been ideal for it. He would have probably gone straight back for that second Doran's Blade. But instead, we are into laning phase. And it's actually standard meta, Joe, once again. So this is almost like I tell a lie. It's not. It's not, is it? Because Belgian Beast at the top against Zora 0. And we see JWoww in the middle against Nudo.
So the other factor in that first blood as well was the fact that it was Naruto that went down. Now, that meant that he couldn't just back off and go towards his red, so he's not only behind a full blue buff here, it means that he also is going to get his red later and also won't have the time to get across and steal away that blue buff. So 3 buff control from the very start here with a first blood for NiP. Couldn't really have gone much more perfect, I suppose, unless that kill went over to Freeze. Naruto has a chance to get in onto Zora 0 now, though. Yeah,
he's going to try and counter it. He has got the Demacia standard drag in there at the moment, so he can manage to get straight in on towards it. Zora 0, though, is going to be the target. Can he go for it? That's the question. Can he land it in there? He's going to go in there. It's going to be the stun. He slides through, gets the knock-up combo. But have they got enough damage to finish off Zora 0? The health pod is chugging. He's going to get to the tower, and he is safe.
I'll tell you what, the balls on Zora 0 there, not to flash. He gets knocked up.
Well, speaking of balls, he's in this tournament, but...
That's true as well. Not using the flash, and then Motroko going very low. Freeze goes in, there's a dash forward, but couldn't quite get the damage down. The barrier used, and now Freeze and Mithy both very, very low. Freeze concentrating on Barney D. The stun went down on towards Belgian Beast. Can Freeze get away? He dodged in towards the grasping roots, but Belgian Beast going low. Mithy gets the kill. Motroko chasing down now. Barney D moving in. And in the end, they've both got away from this one and picked up a kill and almost took Motroko as well.
Wow. Wow. That was some crazy turnaround play there, right there. Now they've caught the kick on towards Naruto. He's forced away again. It is a nightmare for Naruto here. He's not able to pick up anything in that jungle right now. And now he's being forced away from trying to just pick up any assist gold as well. Zora 0 and Herkypod are dominating this top lane. And Ninjas in Pajamas, they have full control this early on. Just shy of 5 minutes, they've already got 1,000 gold advantage, and the 2 kills on Mithy, who's still yet to go back and spend that gold. 1,000 gold on him.
Looking incredibly strong here, and Mithy, all credit to him there, sticking around, not trying to escape, knowing how much damage he could do, knowing how much damage he could take. Picking up that second kill, he's got 1,000 gold as he said to go back with. Freezer's come back into the lane with a Vamp Scepter, now added into that Doran's Blade from the start. And now Naruto and Hercubot fighting over the big Wraith, and it goes to Hercubot. Even more of a kick in the face for Naruto.
Spirit Stone straight out, Side Stone rather, coming straight out from Mithy. That's going to help him out wonders, because he's not going to be able to, didn't have to pay for all those wards that we see Barney D having to do. Nevertheless, it would still be great to have Freeze with those 2 kills instead, but it doesn't matter. Wow, this game is progressing at a fast pace, just like Game 1 did. Nuke and NiP managed to speed that one up. They managed to get the 2 towers down by now, of course. 5.5 minutes gone to this game, not quite turning that way. JWoww, he's been the man that's kept them going a number of times in these games. Can he do it again? He's once again on his Kazakhs. He actually plays it differently to how the current Koreans are doing it. They've actually gone back to start evolving the W, which is the Void Spikes, getting that larger wave, so we can get the wave clear in there quicker. So it's interesting to see how JWoww does it completely different. He goes for the Q, E and R evolution. I think he uses the E last as well, the jump last, which is again completely different how he plays it, but it seems to work out well for him on Kazakhs.
Yeah, I definitely can't argue with him at this point of things. Obviously, he's, I think we can say, being the shining star in this TCM team so far, but they're going to need another shining performance from both sides to get this one going. As Nuke throws out the barrel and will, in fact, use that ultimate up just before he goes home to clear that wave. He's 43 CS to 43, so they're pretty much bang level on that one. He's gone home, picked up the Fiendish Codex, plus a second Doran's Ring, and Ward and Pot.
Yeah, aggressive stuff from Lee Sin as well. Hercubot getting that double Doran's in there, so he's looking still to see if he can assist, get those kills in there. He's picked himself up a ward, of course, because what else does Lee Sin need? He just gets that ward and he can zip around the map. Meanwhile, Naruto, who is hurting, you can see he's 2 levels behind Hercubot right now, all gone down from that first blood. And then the counter, so Hercubot once again looking to punish Naruto's jungle. He's going to come around to these golems. He may actually get there just at the right time as well. Throws out the kick any second. He is not quite going to land it. And Naruto does manage to get his level 5.
I think he actually stole the small golem there.
Did he?
With the Q, yeah. Picked up the gold from it, so nice little steal from him. Level 6 now, and as he said, level 5 for Naruto. This blue buff here going to be done by JWoww. This time around, they're able to secure that one after it went over at level 1 with the first blood for Ninjas in Pajamas. Meanwhile, this top lane, Zoro, Zero, Doran Shield, now got the Doran's Blade added in as well. He's going to be farming between the towers here just to add a little bit more misery to TCM.
Yeah, this is something that's probably going to be a thing of the past, I guess, once we start looking towards Season 4, because, you know, farming between the towers, proxy farming, whatever you'd like to refer to it as, is potentially not going to happen anymore. There is going to be a fight developing, but I don't think they're going to go too aggressive for this one. NiP should back away from this one. We already saw Kazakhs as well making a move towards it. So actually, they're going to stick around. They want this red. Have they both got smite available? Yes, they do. This is going to be a smite fight for red.
And they're pulling it right around the back of the camp here from this one. The small lizard's been taken by TCM. NiP want the juicy prize and get the juicy prize. Red buff going to be taken here by Hercubot, and he goes in. He's still there here, harassing Naruto. Kicks him, knocks Belgian Beast up, almost landing the Q there to maybe follow through for another go. But Hercubot here playing an aggressive Lee Sin jungle to absolute perfection. Now he needs to escape though, and in the end uses flash there to get away.
Yeah, little bit of overconfidence potentially from Hercubot there, knowing his Lee Sin mechanics very well, realizing he was gone a little bit too deep. And Belgian Beast, though, was also preoccupied for a long period of time there. That's going to put him behind in lane against Zoro Zero, who'd returned and pushed that lane a lot earlier on. Naruto looking to try and counter, going to get that red steal of his own, and actually he should get it, because we can see Hercubot's over, helping out, gave the blue buff to Nuke there, so he's not going to be around to help stop this red.
That's going to come around the backside. Naruto.
Oh, they know he's there. They pinged him.
That one. Oh, and he's low as well. Look at this. He's at half HP. He's going to smite, but there is Tibbers. Nukeduck does pick up the kill. Mithy looking for a sneaky hat trick there, I think. But they've managed to sew him up and get that red buff back as well.
Freeze didn't quite get the assist there with Cullen. You could see it coming from range. Really wanted to get in there, but the damage was just too strong. And that, well, if that leads to a dragon, that was a great move. And that's simply Naruto trying a desperation move. I guess you could say maybe trying to counter, trying to read the game as well as he could, but he simply got spotted by the ward coverage that NiP had, and vision is key in this game.
Vision is key, and that's something that NiP did in game number 1 and game number 2 as well, while they had the chance so well. And you see the bottom side all blue at this point from NiP side of things. Nukeduck with a double buff on, just completely missing that ultimate, but Hercubot coming in as well. There is Jarvan from the side, and Hercubot knocked up under the tower. JWoww says thank you very much for the kill and the red buff.
Brilliant turnaround. That's what they needed. Naruto finally gets into level 6 as well. That barrel, I guess it's tricky to pin down a guy that can jump away from it so quickly, and that's exactly what JWoww did. Pounced correctly in towards it, which gave him also that little bonus that he gets with managing to single out a target. But as it is, Belgian Beast back in that top lane. He is quite far behind in terms of farm. We see that Zoro is moving back in there. Sunfire Cape almost completed. He's just going to continue that way, and suddenly the damage will start stacking on as the levels develop.
JWoww here is trying to bait once again. We saw that in game number 2 that really started the whole comeback thing going in this top side once again. So I'm trying to bring him in. Has to jump away from that one though, knowing that Naruto was already moving away. Naruto, by the way, 10 CS behind. He's a level behind Lee Sin right now, which, considering the horrible time that he's had, is not that bad.
No, he's not done too bad. He's still like probably a good level and a half behind though on Hercubot, but that kill assist would have helped. Certainly freeze down this bottom lane. We haven't really had a chance to look at the AD carries, have we? We can see again it's another 10 CS advantage built up, and we'll look at this. Nukeduck and Hercubot coming down here. There is 4 members of TCM also gathering here. That's a great grasping route, exactly what they required on Nukeduck. But now, can the rest of the team close in? Naruto coming around the side. Gragas should be able to slide away. Yes, he does that. And TCM reacting very well there. But look at the top again. Zoro farming between the lanes.
Yeah, and that was something that they did really well in game number 2 when they played the red side, was this pink ward inside of their own tri-bush. It caught Nukeduck, must have been 3, maybe 4 times coming down towards this bottom lane to then back away from things. Eventually you're probably going to lose the tower from that movement, but it also means that Nukeduck's not keeping up with the farm if JWoww's left alone there in that mid lane. We'll see how that one all decides to work out. Nukeduck must be sat on a good chunk of gold again here from this one as JWoww dives in onto him, and Nukeduck is sat on 2,000 gold. Something that he did in the last game as well before he went really home and picked up that Medjai's and the needlessly large rod. He was sat on a massive amount of gold, and that's what he's doing here again. He's actually going to try and get away. There's the flag just to annoy him, and Nukeduck says, well, since you did that, I guess I'll stick around for another wave.
He's got to be careful, Nukeduck, because AP Gragas is very squishy. And JWoww, if he can get that unseen threat proc and jump on towards him, will burst down quite a lot of hit points. But look at Mithy's coming around the side, spotted by the ward. They do back away from that one. He's got to be careful. JWoww's got that brutalizer in there. He will do a heck of a lot of burst damage on towards Nukeduck if he can get in the right situation. And that's what he's looking to do. Actually, he's going to be gifted the blue buff as well. So I think they've kind of switched it around from the last 2 games and said, we need to put all our eggs in one basket and pile everything onto JWoww. Get him as fed as possible. Give him everything he can.
And so far, can't really knock that one. I mean, he needs to be more involved in these fights. Obviously, got himself that single kill up until now, but this whole time that he's got going on, he's working out in his favor. We can see in the top lane as well, Belgian Beast, who is the normal mid laner, of course, playing up again in the top lane here against Zoro Shyvana, who was once again inside the 2 turrets. Has gone for the red buff this time around. Naruto doesn't have smite, but he's able to get it anyway.
Managed to get it. Oh, Zoro having to use that ulti to just pounce away as well. Baron, of course, not spawned yet. Will be up in around about a minute, so he didn't pull any aggro or anything there. So they've got to start dealing with him, though, because Zoro has been farming between those 2 towers the whole time, and well, Belgian Beast can clear those waves. You can see clearly that Zoro0 is starting to develop a bit of a healthy lead, because while he does it, he takes the golems as well. He was around there trying to take away the red. If it wasn't for Naruto happening to be around there knowing the timings, they would have lost the red buff as well to a top laner. And, well, last time we saw that on a Shyvana, well, it was Darien, wasn't it, for Moscow 5.
And we might see more of that.
We might see more of that.
In this event as well, with Gambit obviously back to their roots now, with Edward making the trip back over from the over the Atlantic, not from the Atlantic, back into the team, and really excited to see them in action a little bit later on today. Of course, we've got 3 more best of 3s coming up after this one, so cancel all your plans for Saturday because you're not going anywhere. You're watching League of Legends all day. NiP, you want to make sure that this red buff is secured, and Naruto did come in for the last pickup, so he had a timer on it, but in the end he wasn't there anyway. NiP hold that one. They hold also onto a 2,700 gold lead at this point, and that's going to grow here as they take down the first turret of the game. 15 minutes in. Exactly.
This is probably the longest those turrets have survived in this best of 3 so far, but it is unsurprisingly Zoro0 that takes it down first, because he's been pretty much between that tower for the whole time. He's finally decided to take it down now. Sunfire Cave's complete. There it is. JWoww jumping on. That's the combo that I could talk about. And he only landed 1 claw in there along with a basic attack, and that cleaved Nuke down quite heavily. He's going to have to try and maybe either go for a Zhonya's Hourglass, something to try and deter JWoww from doing that in future. Oh, Miffy putting that ward down right on top of Naruto, not being able to clear that one out. JWoww, well, he's going to eat those barrels. That's going to not help him. Explosive cast being used out from Nuke. That's interesting that he's putting it out. He's got the blue buff, so it's going to be a quick cooldown.
Yeah, going to be coming up very quickly for him, that one. And that's important because the dragon is available from this one. He wanted to do as much damage as he possibly could to them in that mid lane. Mithy, that's not as sneaky as you believe it is. There's a ward right where you're still Naruto there, getting hit by the barrel, but it's Dragon that's really going to become important here. We see it was started off, it was stood on top of ward, snuck around the corner so that it's out of range of that pink ward. Great positioning there from TCM to make sure that they hold the vision of that Dragon area. Right now, you know, that barrel in the end was used for nothing, because even though he pushed them a little bit out of the lane, he didn't manage to pick up Dragon. But here we see Zoro0 going in on towards Belgian Beast. Again, not quite enough damage to high mobility. Thanks to that claw, gets Belgian Beast out of trouble.
Yeah, it keeps him out of trouble for now, but Zoro0 is continuing to push. He's gone for the Zhonya's Hourglass build, so he's going to be looking to be a little more aggressive the moment that gets completed and start diving in there, joining JWoww, who's not really too worried about diving in. He's been doing it quite regularly. He's already got that Hex Drinker now completed, along with that Brutalizer he had early on. Continuing that farm, keeping the farm up with Nuke as well. Doing a grand job there, but the key farmer is Zoro0, who's just motoring ahead. He's been picking up the golems most of the game. Now he's forcing Naruto out. They realise the jungler is at the top of the map, and NiP, realising the situation advantage, are going to go for Dragon at last.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how the ward's tucked in this time around with Naruto nowhere near the action. This will be the Dragon for Ninjas in Pajamas. Nicely finished off. That's a 5,000 gold total that they are now in the lead in this game. And if you look down the kills, they're pretty few and far between at this point. 1 for Nuke in that mid lane, 2 for Miffy, of course, earlier on, which has helped him get a good 1,200 gold over his opponent there. Support Barney D for TCM, which of course turns into the item. He's already got Leader Sightstone already completed in there.
Now ordinarily we'd say 5,000 gold, well, that's a big advantage for NiP, but we've seen it already. It's been a 5,000 gold a number of times already, and it doesn't seem to get that way. The fact they've only taken 1 tower down so far means TCM are just keeping them even in lanes. Well, not even, it's simply the small advantage. Just look at the farm. It's pretty even across the board. So it really is the Dragon control that's the big key at the moment, and Zoro0 in the top. Shyvana is a big deal, that's for sure. He's gonna be a beast throughout the games, not really gonna tail away. He's just gonna be so strong from now on in. Now the fact that he's already got that Bilgewater Cutlass and Sunfire Cave. JWoww may try and complete this one towards Nuke. Flash was burned out from him there, but unfortunately there's no objective control to gain, despite the fact he's forced him almost out of lane.
Yeah, he gets him out of there, but he's probably not going to have time to go onto the turret. We can see that actually NiP has managed to stick around for that one. He's still pretty healthy. There was a flash in the bottom lane. That was BarneyD that flashed away. A little bit scared, I think, of being caught out there by the stuns. And the top side, you see Red Buff is going to be the target and picked up there with the smite of Naruto.
They're going to have to motor down bottom. You already see NiP making his move. They've already got 3 down there as well. They're going to try and stack up on that tower to see if they can pull anyone in towards this. BarneyD just using that flash, like you mentioned, is not going to have any escape. Matroko's got flash and Valkyrie to get out of there. With the minions stacking in, they're keeping the pressure on towards this turret. Mithy just ready and waiting. Hercubot wants to land that Q, get the Lee Syndrome diving in, but here comes a teleport now. Belgian Beast comes in, locks up Hercubot. They're going to manage to get the armor piercing shred, and TCM pick themselves up a kill from nothing by finally using that teleport.
I'd almost forgot that he got it again. We saw him in game number 1 doing the same as well with the Gragas that they had there, which, again, we mentioned at the end of the game, didn't really do much with it, but this time was certainly a lot better. Look at Naruto here, being chased down by the dragon, and there is the finisher. Zoro is going to find his first kill of the game. He's been kind of teasing that one as he gets himself another free wave of minions. It's going to crawl back up into the jungle. Meanwhile, BarneyD at the bottom, no flash available. We saw that one burned earlier on, and NiP take advantage of that as well.
Just as TCM get themselves a pick, now the mid lane's in trouble. We do see Shyvana coming around the backside of JWoww. He's on the turret, he's trying to put the damage down, leaps away. He has evolved that leap, so he is going to get safe and uses the little bit of stealth that he gets from his ulti. Belgian Beast starts to turn it around, not going to lock him up on the tower. That's going to be the mid lane turret going down. It's 2 turrets, 5 kills, NiP in control once again.
Yeah, and it's going to be 3 turrets here. Bottom one taken as well. And there is 7,300 gold. The total separating these two heads. NiP not scared of using that ultimate, you know, not as a finisher, but just to push that man out of the lane. I think that he was going to get a bit more damage onto that mid turret than actually was the case because of JWoww's presence. But either way, he's quite happily to back off now, and he's going to be spending some of the 3,400 gold that he had. And there it is. So Rabadon's death cap is the pickup for him. Top lane, we should mention Shyvana. Sunfire cape earlier, now is a Blade of the Ruin King as well.
Yeah, it's Shyvana. There's a reason that it's been pretty much banned in most games, and probably will be for the rest of the tournament. It's because he's such a strong top laner right now. Look at the farm between them. He's dominated Belgian Beast in that top. Naruto going to try and come and deal with it. This is how they tried to deal with Zoro in previous matches, how they dealt with the Jax. But again, even then, it's so hard to pin down. He's got flash, he's got ultimate, he can just zip away from anything as well. Mobile, tanky, damage dealing. There's not a lot really in the negatives for Shyvana right now.
It really isn't. Incredibly strong on this patch, that's for sure. As a Q lands onto BarneyD. We've still got 1.5 minutes for the Dragon. NiP doing somewhat of an early setup from this. Mithy, we heard him earlier on popping that Oracle's Elixir. BarneyD doing the same here. So they're going to exchange a few wards with the time, with the countdown almost to that Dragon coming in here. Almost a minute until that comes up. So it gives them a bit of time to look at the items. I want to look at the AD carries because we've not really talked about them too much. They've been relatively quiet apart from that kill going down there for Freeze earlier on. A much needed kill I'd add after Mithy got the previous 2 to that one. Trinity Force Fame, Bloodthirster looking like it'll be coming up next. And almost identical the other side. Vamp Scepter missing though at this point for Corki. That's
a merry-go-round that Zoro has just done purely by moving to the bottom lane and back to the top. Belgian Beast followed all the way down, realizes he's got to stick with him, and has just gifted up a bunch of farm and a little bit of pressure on towards that top lane. While they're culling on towards Naruto, keeping him back away from that turret. They're going to get some good pressure down here. They should be able to strip about half the hit points off this turret in this wave, and they back away. All just little tiny bits of positioning and pressure being posed around the map. And again, the top lane turret, it's just being massaged down by Zoro.
And they've done that so well here, the whole positioning game, NiP. Outside of a couple of slightly dodgy ones, let's say, but overall their positioning has been really, really strong. And again, they have just shoehorned their way straight into that one as Naruto going a little bit too far forward from this one. He's going to take a lot of damage for that. half of his health pretty much missing. His Belgian Beast again attacked by Zoro. Loses just a fraction of what he's dealt, and he's quite happy to send Belgian Beast back in, finish off that wave, and have a go on the inner turret. Naruto, half HP as well, realized I think that he can't stand and fight with the Shyvana. He's going to back off. Zoro gets himself another pair of golems.
Yeah, Belgian Beast is just like pinging it away. It's like, I cannot trade with this guy. I need help. Meanwhile, the rest of the team are like, well, we're losing mid-turret. What do you expect us to do about it? We've got to hold on and we lose an inhibitor. It's becoming a problem, and it's a problem they've got no answer for right now. JWoww may have to go up there, but he's thinking, I don't trade too well against the Shyvana either, so I don't want to be involved in that fight. They're going to try and lock out that red, but look at Nukeduck. Maybe he's going to try and steal it instead. We're going to see JWoww jumping towards Explosive Cascus defensively to force him backwards. Dragon, meanwhile, was picked up by NiP, and now they're in a 10,000 gold advantage.
Oh, they're trying to lock down Zoro at the top, but quite frankly, he's able to walk from that one out. I see that Mithy is waiting. Stun charge. Hercubot in the back. Nukeduck is now coming down as well. Are they going to get in on towards Matroka? I think in the end they decided to go more the traditional route, which is push the minions up there and then have a go at that tower. Sadly enough for them, Corki able to clear things out. And I think part of the problem that TCM are having here with Zoro stems from the earlier game where Naruto had troubles in the jungle, had to then catch things up, and he's not been able to help as much as he would have liked for Belgian Beast in this top side, and that's just allowed free reign almost from Zoro.
Yeah, the little battle continues there, and Belgian Beast this time managing to root out Zoro and get those two golems away from him, but it's a minor victory in what's been a pretty horrific top lane for him so far. He's only actually died once in his credit, but he's 74 CS behind, and that's pretty much been those two on their own the entire time. There's not really been any help from either side, honestly, going up there. We haven't seen Hercubot, despite the fact he's on one of his favorite champions, I think it is. He's 0-2-0. He actually did better on Jarvan in the previous game. Obviously, he was one step better than 007. This time around, I've got to be honest, NiP, I talked about it in the picks and bans, how they've got pretty much a bunch of champions that are flavor of the month and actually work as a pretty good cohesive unit, and they seem to be working that way. They've won the lane phase in all 3 matches so far, so there's no doubt about that. They've won it pretty dominantly. They've now got a 10,000 gold lead. What are they going to do with it? They've got 26 minutes into this game, 4-0 up in turret. Barely any vision for TCM this time around, but again, people may be getting caught out, but Hercubot's going to come in and help. Yeah,
and this is the thing. Look how strong Zoro is. He's fighting against 2 of them. He's going to ulti in for this one. Hercubot didn't actually land there, but look at Naruto on Belgian Beast. That was a 2v1.
That was all Zoro.
Yep.
All Zoro. Pop the old teams like, I'm going to have all of you. If Hercubot actually would have safeguarded on him and maybe used the ward and kicked one of them back, that would have possibly been a double kick, because he could have kicked them both through it. But nevertheless, it's a turret in the top lane. The rest of NiP are there. It's now 5-0 in turrets. The gold keeps on funneling. It's Lemon Dogs right now. That's all it is. It's just slow, dominating control. Finally, they're exerting that pressure.
Yeah, it's that whole step-to-step plan that they're going for, going turret to turret, slowly but surely pushing their way towards the Nexus. Very a tutorial-style League of Legends here, I think we like to refer to it as, actually, is the proper English, my native tongue, believe it or not. As Freeze there going to get himself that red buff, he's now working himself up to, I'm going to guess, that last Whisper in from this one. He has been going Infinity Edge quite a lot, I have to say, throughout these last games, but I think the last Whisper is going to fit in towards the kit that he's going with here a lot stronger. As Nukeduck also getting that red buff. He's, since we last talked about his items, added in a Void Staff.
My issue with NiP and effectively what we're calling now the Lemon Dog style of play, the slow, grind it out, you're taking the objectives step by step, it clearly didn't work at Worlds. It's what they tried at Worlds, but unfortunately for them, the pace had quickened. Hercubot's just going to ward away from that one. The pace had quickened at Worlds, and which surprised quite a few teams, Lemon Dogs being one of them, and actually countered badly by Freeze. I don't even know how he got in that position, and nor did the camera guy. Well, it's a Kha'Zix. I mean, a Kha'Zix jumps on you, you're going to die.
Yeah, Naruto, I think, came from the bottom side of the river. They just basically caught him. And maybe napping a little bit from that one. There's a barrel out of Nukeduck, and there's a lot of damage now with that Void Staff added in. It forced them to back away. Nukeduck actually going to try and prevent recalls from this one. Not quite quick enough there to explode that barrel on towards JWoww, but he's quite happy to push straight up that middle lane here. Hercubot is clearing out a few wards. There's a pink ward down from Mithy in the corner bush by Baron, plus he's got that Oracles running as well. They once again try to get that ward control that they've had earlier on of the enemy jungle, which leads to this. Buff's being taken away.
Yep, taking full control, slowly grinding down TCM, and TCM are just literally in the exact same situation they were in Game 1, Game 2. They got to hope that NiP once again makes some mistake, get a little overconfident, overstep the mark, and maybe this is a chance at the bottom, but they've got good ward coverage. You can see Mithy's been around, placed all those pink wards, cleared everything out, another pink ward goes down. They have full vision control, and that is what they need. That's what they missed in Game 2. That's where things turned around badly for them. They had that little two-man split off that didn't work out for them. This time around, they're going again. They're trying to pincer move on Nukeduck here.
Pincer moves, the bane of NiP's last game, but they may just catch Mithy out from this one. He's going to be able to stun down, flashes away from the knockup of Naruto. Now Freeze joining the party. Naruto being hammered down. There is the culling coming out, but it's not really helping. JWoww jumped back in on towards Mithy. He's going to stealth up once, turns back around. Is he going to be able to get away? No, he's not. Hercubot gets that, and Barney D trying to save his teammate will be a second victim, a double kill, and you're not getting away from Zoro Zero. And just like that, 4 men taken down for the 1, and Matroko, he's not out of this one just yet. Shabana coming in. There is the Valkyrie to get back behind the walls of the base, but that leaves pretty much every single lane open. Obviously the mid lane going to be prime target from this one with those minions now working their way up.
Zoro Zero doing a laugh at the end there. Poor old JWoww. I think he'd forgot that Lee Sin was in the game. He was like, it's alright, I'm going to do my damage in stealth. Oh,
wait.
Bugger. I've been completely caught out. There's the ace coming out, and Ninja Pajamas this time around, not due to any fault of their own. TCM actually went aggressive for some reason around. They thought they'd got a thing. And how many times have we said it? We said it in the commentary right there. The bane of people, teams' lives. Pincer moves don't work in League of Legends. Teams are too wise to get around it.
Yeah, and when they do, it's very rare. Let's put it that way.
Very rare.
Very, very rare. I think you've got to have the perfect everything for it to happen. Meanwhile, pincer movement here coming in on towards NiP once again. And whoa, look at that. You're out of position here. They've got ward control of your jungle. Barney D is down. Naruto is going to try and turn away from this one because they want to protect Freeze. JWoww jumps in onto him, and Freeze survives. The lifesteal helping him stay in. Finally, Belgian Beast locks him down with the ultimate coming on towards Nukeduck, but that didn't get them the kill. And now Hercubot is chasing down. Mithy's hopping, skipping, jumping, misses Tibbers completely, but it won't matter. It's Hercubot that finishes off that one. And the old pincer movement coming to haunt them for a second time in about as many seconds.
I think this was simply a case of they expected Baron to be already started. They didn't realize that NiP were at the red, so they just went piling straight past and say, oh, we got to get to the Baron really quick. Wait a minute, what? Where did they come from? Damn it, and that's completely caught him out. Naruto's going to try a Hail Mary move here and try and slide in and get that smite. Gets close as he can and then gets locked up by his own Cataclysm. Derp. But it didn't matter, they turned it around. Matroko, I'm not too sure he's going to be able to escape. Oh, the Q doesn't quite land. But look at the scores, look at the gold, look at the match. It is all Ninjas in Pajamas this time around. They will have to do the mother of all throws to actually screw this one up this time around.
Don't count it out just yet. This is definitely a different scenario. We're approaching 15,000 gold. Not a single turret taken here by TCM. Yeah. We should probably add to that. Which means they've not really got a lot to work with. Now, we said in game number 2, catching out Ninjas in Pajamas was something that got them back into that game. But are they going to be able to do that? You wouldn't imagine that NiP are going to fall for the same kind of trick a second time, a second game in a row. And I think that they're going to have to catch him out a lot more times than 1, 2, or maybe 3 times to get right back into this one. A sneaky Baron pickup would be something that TCM would be definitely interested in, but NiP right now are doing the Dragon, and they've got lots of wards up on that top side by Baron as well.
They've absolutely no reason to risk it either to go for Baron. They could just keep on pushing because they're in full domination control right now. I'd love to ask, say, Fnatic, for example, because they're probably the best candidate I can think of, because TCM have lost all 3 of these games. Or, well, they won one of them, but they've lost the lane phase in all 3 of these games. Is that simply down to skill between players? Is that down to something with the picks that they could change? And the reason I think of Fnatic is because obviously you think back to what happened to them against Royal Club. They lost the lane phase. Other than that one game where they got a great level 1 fight and won that's the game they won. They lost the lane phase. And how do you deal with that as a team? You know, how do you change? What do you motivate yourself to do? Maybe Crepo's got an answer for us later on. I don't know, but as it is right now, that's the only thing I see with TCM. Actually, their team fights not that bad. They've managed to sit back. They've got really good organization. They've got good. What's the word I'm after thinking of? It's the death. it's the death right there. Duke taking down Rutrodor. They've, god damn it begins with D and I can't remember the name of it. I'll come back to it. That's just leaving me hanging right now.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Discipline. That's the word I'm after. Right. They've got really good discipline. They're not going looking for the kills, although they did in this one. So they're sitting back comfortably. Excluding the pincer movement, which failed badly. They've got pretty good discipline. But right now, they've lost this game. I mean, it's a done deal. NiP themselves are going to be looking at this and thinking, okay, we probably should be closing games out quicker. We know it kind of backfires on us. JWoww's going to go sneaky bugger with his little ulti there, gets away with the flash. They're going to be looking to this. Obviously, they're up against either SK or Copenhagen Wolves. That's going to be the next match. How do they themselves look at this match? Because I don't think they're actually going to be overly happy with this match.
I don't think so either.
Despite the fact they're going to win it 2-1, I still don't think they're going to be too pleased.
I don't think so either. I think there's a lot to discuss here overnight for NiP. There's Belgian Beast last second getting away from the Cullen and uses the ultimate on himself. Third time lucky freeze, and he is going to pick that one up. There's the Strangle Thorns coming down, but Zyra already dead. There's the Valkyrie away, and the flash in from Freeze. He gets himself another one. JWoww, the next target, but he gets a kill, jumps back out. 4 men down here. This should be good game for Ninjas in Pajamas. They're going to be focusing themselves on towards those Nexus turrets. And of course, following that, the Nexus itself. JWoww is still trying. In fact, he's not even trying anymore. He knows that this one's over. Ninjas in Pajamas going to pick up the victory here in the semi-final with a 2-1 win. There we go, finally finishing that one off. And as we said, not looking happy despite a victory in the end.
No, it was far from a... Well, I mean, that was a solid victory, that game there. But the whole series was far from convincing, and they definitely know they've got a lot to work on. But let's not forget, this is a team that's moved into the gaming house, what, 1-2 weeks ago, I believe it was. So they've not had a massive amount of time together. They're just still gelling as a unit. They know each other, of course, from the LCS summer season because everybody was playing in there, but they were on opposition teams. Now they've got to get used to that teammate and what he's going to do, what the situation. We saw it with Mithy in game 2 when he flashed Annie Tibbers, caught 4 of them out, but the rest of the team weren't quite on the same page. And you know, when you got to get those moves caught out. TCM themselves played fantastically, but again, they lost the lane phase in all 3 games. That is an issue that they have to deal with and something